How you doing, friends? Welcome back. Thought I would share a little bit different video today other than Disney parks and whatnot. Got a couple of upgrades that I did on the RV here. I thought I would share those with you. We did a bracket here on the TV. I installed a better toilet which replaced the stock plastic Thetford toilet that was in here. I'll talk about that here in a few minutes. And I also put a dimmer switch on these new lights. I did a video back a while ago. I think the title of the video is Let There Be Light. And I was holding up one of the LED lights here that are in the downstairs. So I'll show the dimmer switch that I put in. So let me flip the camera around. I'll show you the upgrades that I'm talking about here. So we'll start with the dimmer switch. Not a whole lot to it really, just a little dial switch that I installed underneath the other control panel, or the control panel for the other switches that we have. The regular light switch is this switch here, so I just leave that on all the time. And then the dimmer switch itself, I turn the lights on and off just with that. It might not dim perfectly with LED lights. The frame rate sometimes messes with the camera, and the lights flicker a little bit with depending on the frame rate, but looks like it probably turned out okay there on the video. Works pretty good. These lights were a little overpowering with the just the on-off switch. That's why I added the dimmer switch to I can regulate that a little bit. They're a little bit strange at the low light when it's dark outside, but so about middle way there, it seems like that's about the best setting for these lights. They're not quite so blinding, I guess, when it's dark outside if I have to turn on the main lights here. So the next one was the bracket for the television. The original bracket the TV was mounted to was on this wooden board here. It's covered with carpet. You can see some of the old holes there. It was just a hard bracket that was fixed to the wall. The TV was flat mounted to that, and it couldn't pull away. So when you're sitting on the sofa, you're looking at the TV at an angle, and these flat screen TVs don't always view quite as good as the old tube types from the side angle like that, especially if it's a real steep angle. So the idea was to get this bracket where I could pull the TV away and I could turn it. I was hoping it would come out far enough that I could turn it this way and actually see it from the from outside with the door open, and kind of make it like a one of those TVs you see mounted in a compartment or something. But it doesn't really work so well for that. I don't think it pulls away from the wall quite far enough for that. But this is a MORryde bracket system. It's the same company that made the step, or a set of steps that I mounted on the back of the toy hauler on that side door. The same company that makes this, and it's got a pretty heavy duty latch there. The chain is so when the TV is up against the wall, you can stick your finger in there and you can release the latch to pull the TV out. The bracket, when it stows, you don't have to pull this down. It'll actually push this down and lock, and the bracket that the TV is mounted to actually rests on top of this, so that gives it some support when you're traveling down the road. These screws, we got what, 6 of them, 7 of them there that hold the bracket onto the wall. And this board, it's I don't know what that is. I think it's like a wafer board or particle board type. So it's not the greatest. I think it'll be sturdy enough as it is. The first trip that we take going down the road, I'll kind of reevaluate and see. I don't know if I need a strap to hold the TV up tight or not. The TV will kind of rock back and forth a little bit, even though it's in the clip here. Then you got the braces here. You got one rectangle tube, and then you got 2 square tubes that come out to a bracket that allows the TV to, let me see, would probably be more like this, where I can rotate the TV or bring the top of the TV out, depending on, I guess, how high this bracket is mounted on the wall. So I just got it mounted leaning all the way out for the time being. It seems like it works okay. The one thing that I would caution you if you decide to go with a MORryde is probably any of these type of brackets, is you've got to have an adapter plate between the bracket and the television. And I didn't realize that when I ordered it. And when it came in, I realized, I got 2 bolts here, 2 bolts down here, and they weren't even close to lining up with the TV. So I got 2 pieces of this flat bar that have holes drilled, I guess probably about one every inch or so. And I just trimmed it to fit, and they screwed onto the back of the television here and here, and then it gave me enough room to put the bolts in, and seems like it's working just fine. It's plenty sturdy enough. It was a little bit flexible when you had a 4-foot piece of it, but now that it's cut down and you're only looking at maybe 4 inches from here to here, that's you know, it's plenty sturdy, so it holds up okay. And TV can swivel back and forth, works pretty decent. Nice little upgrade for the television. Oh, and let me see, it's kind of backlit here. See if I can get the camera to pick it up. All the way down here in the bottom right, this thing is the what do they call that? The Fire Stick TV. So kind of works with Amazon Prime and Apple TV and YouTube and a lot of different types of media for television. So it basically turns a regular old TV into a smart TV is what it does. So that was a nice little upgrade also. Up in the bathroom here, you can kind of see the toilet. It's a nice long toilet. It's porcelain on the top, and then the base, I don't know if I've got enough room here to really show you the base. Yeah, we can get it there. The base down below here, this is as a strong plastic, I guess, or reinforced plastic. So it sits on that, but the actual bowl itself is porcelain. I knew that when I went to put this in that it wasn't going to fit in the space that I had. I had measured it back from the center of the hole, or the mounting hole, how deep into the wall it would go, and it went a little bit further than I originally anticipated. Had to modify and cut out the wall. There's braces in here. You would think there's a 2x4 here and here, but there's not. It's actually a brace, and I'll show you on the bottom here. There's probably 1, 2, 3, I think there's 4 braces in the wall. So I was working in between the braces. That turned out to be okay. The one issue that I didn't really anticipate was the way the brace comes around. You know, I had plenty of room on this side, but the brace actually has a cutout portion here on this side over here, and the side of the bowl kind of rests up against the wall there. So I still need to trim this out. I haven't decided how I want to trim it out. If I want to use this tape-like trim that the manufacturer used, or some of this like quarter round stuff, but the outside corner on the you know, around this outer edge here. That's what I would prefer. Obviously I can't get that to fit down in that corner there, so haven't quite decided how I'm going to do that yet, but I was able to get it in here. Fits okay. Doesn't look too bad. I would rather have had to modify the wall to get it in, but weighing the pros and cons between this toilet versus the plastic Thetford that was in here and modifying the wall, I decided modifying the wall was the lesser of the evils as far as dealing with that cheap plastic Thetford toilet, which consequently, I believe that toilet, there was a recall, or a recall notice. I don't know about a recall per se. It was allowing sewer gas back into the living space, so you'd get a bit of an odor in here. So I decided that toilet had to go, and I replaced it with this one, so we just kind of made it work. I kind of reviewed my options of taking the hole and moving the hole out, but then, you know, as long as this toilet is oval shaped, that moves it more into the space that you're in, you know, when you're getting a shower or brushing your teeth or doing various things. So I decided to leave it where it was, and I just pushed it back into the wall, so it works okay. As far as on the bottom here, the plumbing, you can kind of see this. This is one of the brackets. Again, I haven't finished the trim work, but there's 4 of those in the wall. That's the base, and then, you know, on up the wall there, they kind of space those out. I don't know if they're water jet cut or CNC cut or whatever, but there was, you can see a notch here in the center. There was a brace that came up in the middle. I had to take that out, obviously. But as far as the plumbing goes, I just used PEX fittings. Instead of using the cheap plastic ones, I went with brass fittings, and then this one had the threaded plastic piece on the outside there, but turned out okay. It works pretty good. There's no leaks, no complaints. It's a nice smooth operating toilet compared to the Thetford that was in here. I like it. I would recommend it. Finally, I've got a load of laundry going in the back here. I had a question on about the dryer, on the drying cycle, the washer dryer combo that I have. And a lady wanted to know, I asked her to describe what her dryer, what sound it was making But she asked if I could record my dryer in the drying cycle to see what it sounds like, to see if hers is making the same noise or see if she's got a problem with hers. So I just happened to have a load of laundry going, so I thought we would step out into the garage and I would film a little bit of that, a little bit of the dryer drying, and see how well the camera picks up the noise. I don't know that this camera is going to get the audio quite right, but we'll give it a try. So this washer dryer combo, it's in the drying cycle. You can see I got 24 minutes left to go yet. You can kind of hear it just has that motor sound, I guess. Maybe there might be a blower in there you hear. I'm not sure. And then an extra motor sound or blower sound, I'm not sure what that is, if it's a blower or I want to say it's probably a pump to pump out excess water, but I'm not real sure what that extra noise is, but it does it every couple of minutes or so, repeats itself. So there you have it. Those are the updates. I wanted to try to find a way to get that dryer sound recorded for that lady so she can, hopefully it'll help her. Maybe she'll be able to see if that sound is, well, I guess how it compares to her dryer. See, maybe she can figure out what's going on with hers, or find out that hers is actually working seemingly the same way as mine. I don't know. I hope that helps. As far as the other upgrades, the TV bracket, that's something I've been wanting to do for a while. With these new lights, the dimmer switch, I can tell you that was a good choice. Hopefully that switch holds up. It's the same type of switch that I used on the lights on the headboard in front of the bed there. And of course the toilet, that was on the list also. I knew I was going to have problems getting it in that space, and that was one of the reasons why it took so long to actually install that toilet. It worked out okay. Like I say, I still need to get the trim work. I haven't quite settled on how I'm going to do that yet. Probably in a perfect world, taking that toilet out and then doing the trim and putting it back in. But I am trying to decide if that probably end up going with that tape. Of course, the issue with that is ordering it online. I'm not going to be able to match the exact same trim that's in here from the manufacturer, so I'm going to have to try to get close and then trying to match the colors and all that, you know. So there you have it. Those are the updates. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that thumbs up. That helps out a lot. And don't forget to subscribe. That'll keep you up to date on future videos that come out. And until the next time, take care of yourself, and we'll see you all in the next video.